Hi everyone, my name is Lewis, I'm from Revizto, and today I'm going to be showing you how we can use Revizto 5's new functionality to locate objects on 2D drawings directly from the 3D model, thus helping facility managers find their information much easier and much quicker. We're going to run through how you find objects first of all, so we'll do this by using properties, but we'll also do this from creating search sets. We'll be showing how to use the multi-stamp tool to locate the objects quickly and easily. We'll show you how to create issue filters, how to review the location into 2D, how we can export that information from the 2D out to a PDF. And then we'll also show you how you can do this process on a tablet as well. So you can take this out onto the field and use it live out on site with no problems whatsoever. We have made some assumptions today. So the first assumption would be that your model data is half decent. We obviously need to make sure that similar objects share the properties. If every object has different properties, we are going to struggle to do this. We're also assuming that your 2D drawings have been exported directly from the authoring tool, or at least the PDFs have been manually overlaid into the model. And just a bit of a disclaimer, Revizto is not a dedicated FM tool. The processes that we are showing you are to assist the facility managers find the information quickly and easily. And Revizto is not to blame for bad data, so if objects have different parameters and it's not going to work very easily, that's not Revizto's fault. That's based on the data in the models where they've been exported from in the first place. So that's just a bit of a caveat. So we're jumping in straight away. We're going to start on the PC version. So I'm going to jump into my 3D model. I've got a viewpoint saved up that I'm just going to jump to, take me to my fire extinguishers. So here we can now see some fire extinguishers. Let's say we want to create an issue of every single fire extinguisher so that we can see where they are located on 2D drawings. So I can select the object here. This one here is a water fire extinguisher. And I also have a CO2 fire extinguisher next to it. So these are going to form the basis for the example I'm giving you today. We'll start with the water option. In the properties, I can select fire extinguisher water. I can right click and we can say find the same properties. This has now automatically selected the 14 instances in the model that share that property. I'm now going to go into find items, add a condition based on my current selection, and I can now save this as a search set. So I'm going to save this as new. So I'm going to create a new search set here called fire extinguisher water, and we'll say OK. And once that's created, I can then move that into my facilities management option. And I'll also do a similar process now with my CO2 option, but rather than finding all, this time I can say create a new search. This is going to add that information into my find objects. The difference between find similar properties and find objects is that find objects is going to automatically update the search set if components get added to the model that meet the criteria. Whereas by using the property and find similar, if more objects are added, it's not going to add those automatically. It's going to be limited to what was in that original search. So I'm going to now save this as a new set. I'm going to call this fire extinguisher CO2. OK that. And again, stick that into my facilities management option. So I can now activate the search set. We can then go to our stamp option. I don't have any stamps created, so first of all I need to create one. So I'm going to add some stamps in. So we can call this one fire extinguisher water. Fire extinguisher water. And we'll create a category called facilities management. I'll also add my CO2 whilst I'm here, so we can say fire extinguisher CO2, and we OK that. I can then adjust this, so we can adjust the assignee, and I'm going to put this as our facility manager. We can adjust the other templates options in the stamp, but we don't need to for the sake of this demo. I can then go back here. So if I close this again, so you can see that we've got 14 objects still selected. So we go into stamp, we multi-stamp, we can pick up fire extinguisher water, and it's going to create 14 stamps for us automatically. We can go back to 3D, we can activate the CO2 option. We can do exactly the same process, CO2, and it's now going to create 20 stamps. So we OK that, and it's done. In the issue tracker, we can now create a fire extinguisher filter. So to do that, we go to our custom filters, we go to stamp abbreviations, and then here we can select both of these, save as filter, and just call this fire extinguisher, and create. Once that's done, we can now go to our 2D drawing. I'm going to go to an architectural ground floor overall. We can reset our issues so we don't see anything. I can go to fire extinguisher, and if we turn the pins on, we can now see every location on a 2D drawing where the fire extinguishers are, and we can see we got fire extinguisher water, fire extinguisher CO2, and as you move around the model, we can see those in all the different locations. The facilities manager can now instantly see where all their fire extinguishers are on a 2D drawing in a couple of minutes. The next example for this that I want to give is when you already know the property that you're looking for, so you don't actually need to find the objects. In this case, we can go back to the 3D, go back to the home view. We can then use our find items. In here, we can add a property condition. We can type in name for this one and do contains. And now I can type in something like distribution boards. And it's going to show up, so if we spell this correctly, so I say distribution board, we can tick this option. Down the bottom we can change this to match case so it doesn't, and now I can do find all. In this case it's found 19. I can save this as a new search set and call this DBB, for example, distribution boards. OK that, and we can stick that in our facilities management folder again. And now with this selected, we've got the 19, we can come in here, we can create a new stamp, again DBB, and call this distribution boards, and I can OK that, and again that's already assigned. We can then go back, multi-stamp, select our distribution boards, and that's now going to create 19 stamps for me automatically. Again, I can add a new filter in, so I'm going to go custom filter, stamp abbreviations, change this to just be DBB, save this filter, create that, and again we can go back to our 2D drawings, we can reset, and now I can just switch on DBB, and I'm now just seeing that there's one distribution board on this drawing. If we go to another 2D drawing, such as our basement overall, we can reset this, and again I can say distribution boards, and now I can start to see the location of all my distribution boards on those drawings, again instantly with no effort. So now let's jump onto our tablet, and then we can show you how you can do this out on the field just as easily as what we've shown you here on a computer. So now on the iPad, I can open Revizto and open my project. I can choose the models that I want to be loaded in. And now you can see that on the iPad I have the same options as I do on the computer. So now we can create a find object using a property condition. I can select my property. I'm going to choose, in this case, category. It's from Revit type, and then in here I'm going to enter doors, and then we add another property condition is the name, and then we're going to do contains, and now we can search for double. I can select that. We can again change this to not match case, find all, and again it's found 19 instances of double doors on the project. We can save this as a new set and call this double doors and say OK. And then with our double doors selected, we can go to our stamp, we can add a new stamp in, and we'll call this double doors, and we OK, and then we go back, we multi-stamp, we choose our double doors, going to create 19 stamps for us automatically. And again, the process on the iPad is exactly the same as it is on a computer. Really straightforward, really quick and easy to use. And now it's created all those issues. I can create my custom filter. So I'm going to change my stamp abbreviation here to be double doors. So now that's just showing me the double doors. We can save that one and call it double doors, create that. And now we can go into our 2D. And again, I can reset my filters. We can come down here, just select double doors. And now instantly I can see where all my double doors are located on the project. Straight away, no effort. It's just there for me instantly. So in general, just a really good workflow to locate where all your objects are in 2D from the 3D model. And also with the issue tracker on here, we can now switch between fire extinguishers. And again, now I'm just seeing the fire extinguishers. We can change the cluster radius if this is too high, so we're not separating them. And there we go, we can see all the individual items. So all the information that we've created on a PC is now visible for us on the tablet as well. In general, very quick, very easy workflow. And in a matter of minutes, we've located where all these objects exist on a 2D plan, so that when our facility management team are out on site trying to find these items, they can now just go to their drawings, they can walk to the correct area in the building, and they know exactly where they are. So the final thing that I would add here is this process that I've shown you is using Revizto for something that it's not meant to be done for. This isn't, the intended use of Revizto to be used for facilities management. So just bear in mind that issues in the issue tracker, the more we create, the more things it has to load in. And this can cause the program to slow down. So the reason that I've created all my searches as search sets and saved them is so that we can reactivate them at any point. This means that if we're not going to use those issue locations to find objects at that time, it does make sense to delete them from the issue tracker, so that we're not sort of filling up the issue tracker with things that aren't going to be looked at. And there is an intention in the future to be able to select objects in the 3D and see them in the 2D space without actually creating issues from them at all. So do watch this space when it comes to further development. But in general, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this useful.